hope you're okay. Hope you're all coping with the situation we're in at the moment, and hopefully you're getting plenty of time to do a bit of practice on your instrument as well. I'm going to do a series of short videos just to give you an idea of some things you might be able to practice at home, some ideas to practice and some things that you might want to develop yourself on your own instrument. I find that in my own playing and when students have lessons with me, a lot of time people say there's just so much to learn, and in fact there is so much to learn. Music is a lifetime study, and often we don't really know where to start, and we know that practicing is a good idea, but we're not really too sure what to practice. Often we try and practice things that are far beyond us without really having a grasp of basic concepts. And over a series of short videos, I'm just going to address some of these basic concepts, and hopefully we can build upon those. We're going to start with major scales. Now, some of you might think, well, I know all my major scales and I know them inside out, and that's great, but this might be a new way for you to practice them. It might also show up some gaps in prior learning that you didn't realise was there. And then as we move forward, as long as we've got these foundations in place, we'll find the other things that we'll perhaps do together will become easier and feel much more slick under the fingers, and feel like you've got command of your instrument. So we're going to start with our white note major scales, and I'm approaching this as if we all know our key signatures, and there's many ways to think about your key signatures, okay, whether you're using your cycle of fifths or a rhyme or some kind of strange thing where you go up a few notes and down a few notes and pick the seventh note and you know, mother's maiden name. There's many ways to get there. As long as they work for you and you know what you're doing, that's great. If you're not sure about your key signatures and you'd like to find out how you work them out rather than just guessing, because all this is done without music, we're doing it all in our brain, which is very important, drop me a line and I'll have a chat to you about that, okay? But we're thinking, yeah, we know our scales, we know our major scales, we know our key signatures. How should I be practicing? What's the best way? What's an effective way of practicing? So we're going to take our 7 white note majors. By white note, I mean the white notes on a piano keyboard. So C, D, E, F, G, A and B. I'm going to play them one octave, okay? I'm going to start on C, on my tenor, concert B flat, or if you're thinking about a piano, think about that middle C. And we're just going to play up and down each one of those scales for an octave. That's C, here's D. E. F. G. A. B. Then we're up to C again. So I've played my white note major scales all for one octave, but I've covered 2 octaves worth of my instrument. Now you could try that legato, you could play it staccato, you could change the rhythms, you could play it swung. Starting on the offbeat, 1. Ba-da, ba-do, ba-do, ba-da. Okay, you can change the way you perhaps want to do that if you think that exercise seems simple, but try it first because it's actually harder than it sounds. Also, try your arpeggios in the same manner, sort of white note major arpeggios, going up and down in order of the white notes on the keyboard. Okay, so much of a break. Etc. Same with the scales. Etc. Okay, so we've got up and down those white note arpeggios, up and down the white note scales. If you think that's good, and I've got that maybe after a couple of days, you might want to say to yourself, okay, I've spent my entire musical life going up and then down patterns, okay, up and then down those scales. Try playing them all descending. Etc. And the same for the arpeggios. Etc. Through those down to the tonic again, onto that C concert B flat. Okay, it's quite interesting playing things descending because we do always tend to play up before we come down, and particularly with the arpeggios. If you're playing a descending form, you might want to think about the ascending form first. What notes are actually in that arpeggio? Okay. If that's all there and you're feeling happy with that, the next step to this exercise is to play up the C major scale, then down the D major scale, up the E major scale, down the F major scale, and follow the pattern through like that. Down D, up E, down F, up G, down A, even. See, it's harder than you think, especially if you've got a sticky G sharp key. So you follow that pattern round, up C, down D, up E, down F. Then, because you've done them that way round, we have to jump a note, start on D, and we play up D, down E, up D, down E. And try that pattern. Okay, so we're going up one, thinking about what's coming down, and down the next one, up the next one, down the next one. Okay, all these scales and arpeggios are the building blocks of music. They give us the idea of the structure and the sequence and the pattern in all the music that we play. So they're very, very important, but it's surprising how many people haven't got a full command of those scales and arpeggios patterns across their instrument. This will also make your instrument feel much more under the fingers and feel like you can get round it much, much quicker. And of course, everything you do with a sense of pulse. You might want to try putting your metronome on, as long as you're not one of those people who puts a metronome on and then ignores it. Make sure you're playing right in that sense of pulse. And hopefully you'll end up with something that's sounding like this. So we'll build on this in our next little video, but see if you can do that, see if you can get those ideas under your fingers. If you've got any questions or any feedback, do get in touch with me and let me know. Check out the website, philshottonmusic.co.uk, and if you'd like to book a lesson with me, either in person when we're through this crisis or currently on Skype, I'd be more than happy to hear from you. Enjoy your music making and enjoy your practice.